Set in Philadelphia, follow Camille Ebony as she discovers the woman she was meant to be in the blink of an eye, seemingly when her marriage, career, and life are rearranged, when a cool stranger enters the mix. She realizes for the first time in her life that she is able to throw caution to the wind and just be herself without any label or duties attached. All things must come to an end, though, and once again Camille finds herself taking on the requirements now of wife and mother. But when she is called upon to do one more favor, the journey to the heart of the matter continues, and she comes face to face with the realities of the girl she once was, the person she has wanted to be, and the woman she is. On the road to self-discovery, Camille soon realizes there must be some casualties.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snuff 7. I am your soul brother, number one. I would like to thank all of you in the chat room for coming and being with me this afternoon. I definitely most appreciate it. Shout out to Soul Brother 85, of course, and Jonathan and Freddie Scott so far in the chat room, and those who are listening. Unfortunately, I was trying to simulcast on Facebook, but for some reason, it's been having technical problems, and the broadcast keeps dropping. So those on Facebook, you will have to view this video broadcast after I'm able to mirror it from YouTube, and I will post it on Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry Facebook. I want to always thank those who have donated to my medical fundraiser. I thank you so much. And even those who would like to, but you just don't have the means at this time. Just the thought, I appreciate it. Because there are those who don't want me to have nothing. They want me destroyed. They don't want my voice. They don't want me on YouTube at all. I don't understand that. Why am I such a threat? Why do you hate me like you do? I only have 10 subscribers. I only get 10 views. Why are you so interested in somebody that only has 10 views and 10 subscribers? Why do you care? And why should you care about anything that I have to say? Because nobody is listening. So who cares? But clearly, I must be some type of threat to certain folks, that you don't want somebody that has very little to be able to speak. And that should make you wonder why people would be so interested and bring so much attention to somebody who is not getting any attention. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I do. Yeah, well, I do. I do get it. You understand that what comes from this platform, if people listen, then you know that what you're talking about, that game is over. That's why you are so upset. That's why you hate Angel Snuff 7. Not so much that you really hate me. You hate reality. You hate truth. Even though you claim that's what you stand for, you're not really interested. You like a little bit of truth. You like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but you really don't want to hear the full, unadulterated truth. You don't want to hear that. And so some of you flag my channel because you don't want me to talk. Some of you try to slander and you gossip. Well, you're welcome to do that. They've been doing that since 2007. Really. YouTube has terminated 100 of my channels. The corporation actually got involved, somebody that nobody's listening to. And I've been flagged by women, black women, Caucasian people, black men, of course. And Angel Snub Nub 7 is still here. And the reason why Angel Snub Nub 7 is still here is because there are still those looking for, as my brother Soul Brother 85 is saying, they are still looking for raw, unadulterated truth, whether it hurts us or not. Truth hurts. And that's why you're so upset with Angel Snub Nub 7, because truth is reality, and you live in these make-believe worlds. You don't live in reality. You can't handle the full, unadulterated truth. I even have those who will tell you they are my friend, they are my associate, and some of them still cannot handle full, unadulterated, raw truth. They can't handle it. They still embrace something, some type of imaginary, fictional, something in their mind that they hold on to that's not real. We cannot do that here. We accept reality, the full, unadulterated truth, to the best of our knowledge, to the best of our ability. Whether it makes us look good or makes us look bad. We give justice to those who have denied us justice. We are not going to be like those we complain about. So I don't care what the white man done. If the white man did not do that, then I have to question that. Then why are you telling this lie? There's no need to tell a lie on the white man. They've done so much, or this people have done so much. Why do you need to lie? But there are those who add on, just like if you've been convicted of a felon, and you have all these charges and whatever, you're already guilty of a whole lot. Then you have those people who want to lie on you and add on for something that you did not do. And that's not just. We seek to represent true freedom, justice, and equality for all. If you done it, then you deserve the consequences. Deserve to suffer the consequences. But if you didn't do it, then I'm not going to go out of my way to lie on you, because I think people will believe my lie because of what you've done in the past, or what you have done, or the what's the word I'm looking for? This record that you've accumulated to make you look like you could be guilty. But I hold true to you are innocent till you're proven guilty. Unlike in this society, you are really guilty till you're proven innocent. And peace to you also, Brother Phil. I thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. I don't want to hold you long. I don't want to hold myself long. I just want to hit this topic and get out of here. Now, the topic that we've chosen is Black separation from Caucasian people, pink people, white folks, however you want to say. Separation is the best solution. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, taught about separation from the white man, but he taught it as the last option for us. It was not top priority. It was not immediate, but it's the last option if you cannot get freedom, justice, and equality in this nation, of which it seems as though, and it's very clear to us, it's becoming very clear to us, that it's not going to never happen. So we should be thinking about separation. Now, some of you are hypocrites, and I'm going to use a very easy, simple example. Some of you are hypocrites when it comes, when soul brothers and sisters get to the point where we're sick and tired and we want to go to Africa, we want to go somewhere, we want to separate from these people who clearly have given us hell going on 500 years. I'm going to show you that you're a hypocrite. Well, why should we separate? This is my country, blah, blah, blah. And you make good points. Our ancestors built this country. The president, Donald Trump, out of all the presidents that I've ever heard, the president, Donald Trump, said that the black people, the so-called Negro, the African American in this country, our ancestors, we are the ones who built this nation. We are the reason why it became a wealthy and powerful economic force. He's the only one that admitted and confessed to that. And he said, the only president, the only so-called politician, the only one I ever heard say something like that. And he said that the African American does not get the credit we deserve. I never heard that from Joe Biden. You didn't hear that coming from Kamala Harris or Barack Obama or Condoleezza Rice or President George Bush Jr. or nobody but the racist, the man that's supposed to be racist and hate black folks and all this stuff. He told out in the public before cameras, and you can go look it up yourself. And he, to my knowledge, signed legislation to also help get some of our brothers and sisters doing all this time in prison and jail, get them released out of bondage. While these other people like Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, the first black president, and these other suckers did all they could to lock us up. But Donald Trump is the racist. Donald Trump also made it where these historical black colleges and universities able to get their money like they should. Also, I heard that Donald Trump signed legislation to help get some of our black farmers, get some of the land back, and get some of the things that was stolen from them. But Donald Trump is the racist. He hates black folks and all this. Oh, you are a Trump supporter. I am a supporter of those who do good. I am a supporter of those who do right. I'm going to give a man credit when a man does something that he has earned that credit. Now, if you can show me that this man did not do these things, I will happily shut up. But to my knowledge, that's what he has done. And you did not get that from George Bush Sr. or President Reagan or Jimmy Carter or none of these suckers that's in the Congress. Matter of fact, many of these suckers in the Congress came from a time when they outright voted against anything beneficial to the descendants of slaves born in America, soul brothers and sisters, the once called nigger in this country. And now they holding on, trying to hold on to their seats. They lie, talk about, I changed. I learned a lot since then. You ain't learned a damn thing. Only thing you have learned how to do, well, you didn't learn, is just continue to lie. That's all they've done. Because your actions don't speak like you've done, that you learned anything, because you still continue to do what you done back in the 1960s, late 50s, or whenever your sucker ass was able to get in this congressional seat that you can hold on for the rest of your life. So I support those who do right. And he earned it if he done these things. I would think if we had proper leadership, Donald Trump would probably be your best bet to get you what you really want, because at least Donald Trump is going to be open to your face instead of smiling in your face and stabbing you in the back. Out of all these other wackos, you got a better chance with this man, and that's because Donald Trump is not a politician. He's just an American citizen that got some money. But we're not smart. We don't take advantage of nothing. He's full of hate. Watch what you get from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, or whatever her name is. I don't keep up with these people. I just deal with whatever comes my way. I don't care who the damn president is. I don't care who's in Congress. I don't care. Whatever they do, I just deal with it. I could care less. But you are in a situation where you can take advantage of things and you won't do it. Shame on you. Thank you, Brother Free. That's off our topic, but at the same time, it's on our topic. Because I want to give you a real quick example of why so many of these people are hypocrites. Hold on a second. It's getting a little hot in here. I should have grabbed a little something. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's say this is our situation here, except it's on a very small scale. You have a roommate, and basically that's what we're doing here in this country. We're basically roommates, all kinds of people living in this one apartment. We're roommates. So we're roommates. You got me, and you got some other people living in this apartment. Now, you would think all of us living in this apartment, everybody should do their fair share. Keep your room clean. Everybody take out the trash, take turns taking out the trash, and whatever it is that you require in order to keep this apartment going. And all of us pay our fair share of electricity, cable bill, and so forth. That's the way it's supposed to work. was in a situation where I had roommates, and it was a beautiful thing because that's how it worked. Everybody paid their third share of the rent. Everybody kept the apartment clean. It was a wonderful experience having a roommate, and all of us was able to save money. Beautiful. But that's not how it always works out. And some of you probably have experienced this. You have these roommates that you get. They don't keep their area clean. They don't wash their dishes, always dishes in the sink. They attract roaches. They don't pay their fair share of the utility bills. They don't pay their fair share of the rent. Now, according to the logic of those who say, black folks, why you want to separate? What's wrong? Here we are living in this nation. We go to war and we die. And some of us, our legs are amputated. We suffer from mental illness, defending our nation. We get letters from the IRS and we pay our taxes. We are wonderful roommates. But now, in this nation, you can go to the bank. Do you get bank loans like everybody else? No, you don't. You're discriminated against in housing and employment, and the list goes on and on. I don't have to get into that. We already know this. So going back to the roommate analogy, how long? You hypocrites. You know that you're not going to stay in a situation living with some people and you're the only one paying the rent. They taking their money and doing other things with it. They're not paying their fair share. They're not cleaning the house. You know you're not going to stay in a situation like that. But according to your logic, you would, because we're brothers and sisters. Can't we all just get along? Get your ass along to the bank and pay your fair share of the rent. Get your ass on, grab that mop bucket and them brooms and clean up the place in that vacuum cleaner. You are not going to stay in a situation where it's not equal and you're not treated with justice. You're not going to do it. But you're asking soul brothers and sisters, you're asking the ones called Negro, you want to ask us, and you have a problem with us because we want to separate from your happy ass. You're getting all the benefit. Why should I stay? Now, of course, you don't mind staying because it's beneficial when you don't have to pay the rent like I do. You don't have to clean up like I do. So, of course, you're not in America and you have these suckers coming into your neighborhood, these police officers. You don't have to worry about them coming into your neighborhood and blowing your brains out because the light on your car was out or whatever reason. You don't have to worry about stuff like that. So you're a hypocrite because you're not going to tell me you're going to have room. Matter of fact, it don't even have to be strangers. It could be your own flesh and blood. It could be your parents. Your parents looking at you. You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. You got children. Hey, I love you and everything, but you ain't paying no bills here. Your children nasty. They taking crayons and magic markers and marking up my wall. You're not going to live in a situation like that. Stop lying. Hypocrites. There's nothing wrong with separation when you are in a bad situation. There's nothing wrong with that. You have married people that get divorced. They cannot get along. And they get a divorce. What is a divorce? A divorce is separation. And in this country, it's a whole lot of divorces. About 70% or so, I'm told. They can't get along for whatever reason. Matter of fact, the thing about divorce is a lot of these couples that divorce, a lot of them have a better relationship after they separate than they did when they was married. There's nothing wrong with separation. We live separate right now. That's why you say black community. You don't say American community. You say black community because you know that there's other communities separate from the black community. You have the Asian community. You have the Somali community, Germantown, Chinatown. You have these gated communities where the rich and the wealthy separate themselves from the poor and the middle class. And you have the suburbs where the so-called middle class are attempting to separate themselves from the impoverished. The whole nation is separated. So when you tell me you have a problem with black people, soul brothers and sisters, and Caucasian people, you have a problem with that, you are a damn hypocrite. Because everything about life, even in nature, you see separation. You don't see honeybees living with wasps. Do you see that? Because the wasp is an enemy to the honeybee. Wasps kill honeybees. You don't see them trying to live together. You don't see wildebeest trying to live with lions. It's a reason for the separation because the lion can do serious harm to the wildebeest. Living in this country, even according to your own words, your own history, it has been detrimental for the once called Negro, soul brothers and sisters. It has been detrimental to us to be living with white folks. And that's a fact. That's just the reality of it. We have done nothing to them. They always doing something to us. This is a fact. What about black on white crime? If we were separated, you wouldn't have to worry about that, would you? Because there would be no black man to do anything to you, right? Duh. Separation. 1 point for separation, no points for integration, and your dumb lying bullcrap. There would be no black on white crime if we were separated, because there would be no black folks around to do nothing to you. Everything about us is separated. When you eat your dinner, most of us, we put the peas over here, we put the steak over there, the carrots over here. It's separate on your plate. Most of us just don't dump everything on the plate. We put things in separate spots. There's nothing wrong with separation when you are trying to stop from somebody else from doing you harm. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good sense. So why do you want the black folks to stay among you? Talking to Caucasian people. So you can continue to discriminate. So you can continue to have your racist pig cops come in our neighborhoods and blow our brains out. So you can continue to laugh when you deny us loans, don't support our schools. That's why, you dirty son of a woo man. If it wasn't for YouTube, I could talk the way I want to talk. You mess around and get censored. And I don't use a whole lot of profanity, but I like to express how I feel sometimes. Dirty, low-down dogs, hypocrites. They want you to stay with them so they can continue to prey on us. That's the reason why. You do not care nothing about us. Here comes another lie. We're all American citizens. You're so full of hate. You're so full of... If we are all American citizens, and you know my neighborhood has a problem, then why don't you help us? No, we are separated. You only care about your neighborhood, your class, your people, and you don't give a damn about us. If we was real American citizens, and America is a rich nation, I'm not saying that all of us should be rich. But what I am saying, nobody in America should be homeless. Nobody in America should be doing bad, because as American citizens, we view ourselves as brothers and sisters. Then I'm not going to tolerate another citizen starving. I'm not going to tolerate another citizen homeless on the street. I'm not going to tolerate another citizen not being able to support their family. I'm not going to tolerate that. That's a no-no. So here you have the United States Congress, and they talking about giving the American people $300 a week in unemployment and a $600, $700 stimulus check. Whoa. That's an insult. That's an insult. That should be an insult to the American people. This, I'm gonna tell you, there should be a civil war. There should be a civil war. The middle class and the poor should rise up, revolt against this government, take all these suckers out, all these old heads out, and start all over from scratch. There should be rebellion. That's an insult. Because you starving, you suffering, what do you have to lose? You got everything to gain. In history, in France, in China, in Russia, it got to the point where the poor couldn't take it no more. What you have to lose? You dying, you suffering, you starving. They rose up against the rich. They rose up against the government, took them all out, and started all over again from scratch. And if it get bad enough, the one who gonna kick it off will be the white folks. It won't be Negroes, because we docile. Well, that's the way things God gonna do. Jesus, the mother plane gonna do. Now, Caucasian people, white folks, they say they believe in God too, but they also believe in the gun. And they're not going to do all that type of suffering like that. They have a whole different mindset. They're getting ready now. They're ready to rebel against the government right now. And the government is always keeping a track on what they're doing. But see, the government can't do nothing against the citizens. The poor and the middle class, you outnumber the government 100 to 1. And who is in the military? Who is in the army? Your relatives. Your relatives in the army and the Navy and the Marines are not going to stand with the government to come out and kill you. Some of them will in the beginning when it's small, but when it's stretched out, that all the American people, regardless to your race and your color, you sick of this. A $700 stimulus check is a joke. $300 a week, unemployment, that's an insult. All over the country, when I look at the news, our American citizens in food lines, humiliating when they shouldn't have to. The government is supposed to support their citizens during this pandemic. Now, to my knowledge, I have not heard them say that you have to pay for this vaccine. They doing it for free. Who is paying Pfizer? Who is paying Moderna, whoever the hell they are? Who is paying? They're not doing these vaccines for free. The government can pay to give you a free vaccine of something that is unknown. You really don't know. You really don't know what it's all about. But they're not willing, and this stuff is not cheap. This stuff is not cheap. MD says blacks have been used to been led by others for hundreds of years. Think Pink Man will not stand to be told by anyone what to do, including the government. And they have a history of that. They don't go, now see, I am told that the black man is the dangerous one. The black man is docile. You ain't gonna do a damn thing except be a Negro's Pharaoh slave like you've been doing for the last 400 years. If they're gonna fear anybody, they're gonna fear their own when they get to the point where they can't take it no more. And so, yeah, the government put crack and other drugs in our neighborhood. Do you not think they will put meth in the white community? I drive trucks all over this country. There's liquor stores and cocaine and drugs in their neighborhoods, and they give you this they fill your mind with all this nonsense on TV to keep their own people asleep. They're not scared of you. They scared of these Caucasian white folks when they wake up. That's who they scared of. They're not scared of you. They know that you're not going to do nothing except run your mouth. Some of us, the majority of us, docile, we're going to wait on Jesus, we're going to wait on Muhammad, we're going to do whatever. That's not how Caucasian people think. Bless me, Jesus. This is how they think. Bless me, Jesus, as I pull this trigger. And the Constitution itself was written for the citizens to be able to arm themselves to do exactly that, to rebel against an unjust, unfair government. That's the way the Constitution was written. That's why they gave the citizens the right to arms, so they can fight against a corrupt government. And white people, Caucasian people, take that to heart. They ready to roll. But They do meth. They do cocaine. They do all. You think that the government don't have something to do with these, with their own citizens getting all this stuff? They are the real sleeping giant or lion. Not you. You ain't gonna do nothing except talk. Your history show that's all you're gonna do. Their history show when they get sick of something, they don't care about dying. They don't care about suffering. They're ready to do what needs to be done. You, you ain't gonna do nothing. The only thing you're gonna do is watch a YouTube video and give some sucker your money. That's all you're gonna do. I wanted to use as an example, I was watching Judge Faith. And Judge Faith had a case. There was a soul brother who was leaving a restaurant, getting in his car, and he wanted to leave. But he couldn't leave because this devil, this Caucasian guy, I'm going to call him a devil because his actions was devilish. He did it on purpose. He had a tow truck trying to tow a car, and he purposely, because the brother asked him, hey, you know, you blocking my car, I'm ready to go. So he purposely slowed down the process of towing his car just to piss the brother off. And then after the brother was able to move, he made up these lies. They called the police, and this liar told the police the brother pulled a gun on him and all this kind of stuff. Well, the white man could have been telling the truth. Yeah, he could have. In the meantime, the brother lost his job because he had to go to jail for a week over this charge. He was charged with unlawful use of a weapon. They never saw a gun. There was never a gun found. They based everything on the words of this sucker, the same thing that happened to me. There was no evidence. There was no evidence to support nothing. They just charged me based on the words of this one person. So, the brother, it was his time to go to trial, and he was charged. And this sucker refused to press charges. If somebody pull a gun on you and did all this, threaten your life and all this, what you talking about, why aren't you going to press charges? He said he had something else to do. What do you mean you had something else to do? You have somebody that you claim pull a gun on you, threaten your life. You have something else to do. Something is more important than getting somebody who is violent off the street. So the court determined that this man that made this charge had no credibility. And the charges was dismissed. But mind you, the brother lost his job. The brother also, because when people find out about it, they start looking at you different. Wow, he pulled a gun on somebody. He was charged. They look at you different. He lost his job. And so in this case, the brother was suing this wacko jacko for his false charges, and Judge Faith ruled in the brother's favor, $5,000 or whatever it was. But the brother went through all this due to a lie, because I'm a white man. And when the police got there, they just assumed, just like when these Caucasian women cry rape, they just automatically come to their aid. And we see this all over the country. And white people know this. And they always said it was a black man. When they commit a crime, like that one Caucasian she-beast, she murdered her own children. I think it was in Boston. A black man carjacked me. They always said the black man done it. And because they know when you say it's a black man done it, oh yeah, it must have happened. Because black men do stuff like that. It's automatically assumed by them. Because they run the courts. We don't. They make the laws. They make the policy. We don't. So we are we live in a country and dealing with systems that's racist that mean us no good. Now, last summer, I don't go out looking for trouble. I don't do nothing to nobody. I'm just sitting in my apartment. And this he beast and this she beast, they are outside cutting grass. And so I get up and look outside, and I noticed while they was cutting grass, they was getting very close to my vehicles, and they was throwing grass on my vehicles. And the grass was still stuck to the vehicle. It's not like they threw grass on the vehicles and they got a blower and it immediately got the grass off. They let it sit there and was letting it dry and all this kind of stuff. But I've cut grass since I was a little boy around vehicles and other stuff. I know how to cut grass. I'm not going to throw grass and rocks on your car. I'm not going to do that. I know how to cut grass. Apparently they don't know how to cut grass. So I go outside and tell the she-beast, could you watch what you're doing? You're throwing grass on my vehicles here. I did not raise my voice. I did not say something disrespectful or uncivil. I just asked them, would you not, watch how you cut the grass? And the she-beast turned her nose up at me. Like, how dare you? Who you think you talking to? Negro. And so I simply said, well, I just don't, don't throw the grass on my vehicle. She starts screaming. He's hollering at me. You know how they do. And the he-beast stopped cutting grass and ran up on me. How dare you attack my woman? That's my woman. You can have that trash. And I'm asking you not to. And he started huffing and puffing. If I had my gun, and he said, if I had my gun, I'll blow your brains out. Now watch the difference between when that he-beast charged that brother with a felony gun charge. Now watch how they treat me. I'm saying the same thing that Peckerwood said. So the police come out. More racist police, pink people. Another woman, matter of fact, female. What's going on here? Now, they knew the police was coming, and the he-beast and the she-beast, packed up their lawnmowers and stuff and took off. So here come this she-beast police officer. Hey, what's going on here? And I tell him, I'm like, I was just threatened. This guy was here cutting the grass and he threatened to shoot me. I was asking them, and the grass was still on my car, on my vehicles, stuck to my car. I was asking them, could they be careful how they cut the grass? They're throwing grass on my cars and, cars and stuff here. And she basically was trying to defend them. Well, they cutting grass and trying to justify what they done, and made no attempt to go find this man. I told this dingbat, she-beast police officer, hey, he threatened me with a gun. He said he's gonna blow my brains out because he said I disrespected his lady friend. She made no attempt to find them, no attempt to investigate. In fact, try to justify it was all right for them to throw the grass on my vehicle. You see the difference? But you want me to agree with you that we should not seek separation. You out your damn mind. That's a perfect example of the justice system. When you have Caucasian people, they look out for themselves and they look at soul brothers and sisters like some kind of savage animals, and you deny us justice. And you want to live and continue to live among people with behaviors like that, you are out of your mind. Who are they? Why are they so special that you're willing to risk, because that's what you're doing. Every day we live in this country, we risking our lives because you never know when you're dealing with them what's going to happen to you. Even some of these Negroes that believe in integration, they get nervous when a Caucasian police officer pulls them over. I know they get nervous because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who is who. And you want to live in this type of environment, all stressed out, always scared, because you don't know what might happen to you. You go to jail, you know you're not going to get that the odds are against you. There's no justice. Now, of course, if you a Negro and have some money, like Oprah Winfrey, their money shield them from a lot of things. But they're not stupid. There was a Caucasian guy. She was at this hotel. There was a Caucasian guy, and you had all these people. Oprah coming. Oprah Winfrey is coming to our hotel. One of those Peckerwoods said, I don't give a damn. Care about that nigga Oprah. He said it right there on camera. I don't care about nigga Oprah. And Oprah tried to play it off and say, it's still racism in our country. It's like roaches. When you see one, that represents 100 or 200. But we live in denial. We already live separated. That's a fact. The problem with us is we are separated and can't take advantage of that separation. We got other suckers coming into our neighborhoods, bleeding us economically dry. And we just sit back. Well, we all American. We'll go to their neighborhood. Go to their neighborhood and do in their neighborhood what they do to us in our community. They're not going to tolerate it. You're not going to use them to get rich. They come to our hood, the places where we live, set up shop and get rich. They're not going to tolerate you and me going to their neighborhoods and set up shop. You're going to find out it's a problem. You're going to have a problem finding a space to buy or lease. They're going to give you a whole bunch of permits that you're going to have to buy. They're not going to let you do that. But we're docile. And we're drunk. And we're drug addicts. And we're all messed up. And even when we're sober, it's not too much better. Because we're still messed up with Jesus and these religions and our imaginary worlds that we live, that we're gonna have one day. While these people live in the now. They deal with reality. We live in la la land. So we have Operation Exodus, Mississippi. And in the title, you have Exodus because it is wise. When you are living in a hostile environment, it is wise that you will want to separate yourself and exodus from that hostile environment. It's wise. So Elijah Muhammad said in his teaching, if you cannot get freedom, justice, and equality in this nation, then you should want to separate. And the Mississippi campaign is the catalyst, the beginning of that separation process if it is needed. And it won't be where a little bit of people want this. No, by the time we exodus, the whole 40 million and more, they will be ready to get the hell out of Dodge. And you will be organized, have your act together where you know where you're going. Let's go back to Africa. Where? How? How are you? What? Africa is not going to accept 40 million plus in the condition that we're in. It's not going to happen. And the 40 million don't want to go to no Africa. And that's just the reality of it. In order to have an exodus, the victims have to have the right mindset. You have women and sometimes men in abusive relationships. They know they need to get out. You can't get them to leave. And they end up murdered by the abuser. You have to have and build a certain mindset to be able to exodus, to separate. There are a lot of people who are married and they're separated. They don't want to be divorced for whatever reason. Maybe they still might have feelings for each other and really don't want to divorce. You have to be in a certain mindset. At this time, the only way you can get soul brothers and sisters in this nation to want to separate, they would have to be murdered every day. They would actually have to suffer greatly in order to get to the point where they want to exodus. But as long as they get a little bit of food, as long as they can play a little bit of Xbox and play on YouTube and get to play on Facebook, and they can go party with their white friends, they're not going anywhere. So they don't have the right mindset. They're not going to go nowhere. But in a future situation, and you know that this should be put on the table as an option, the wise prepare. And see, Operation Exodus Mississippi is perfect is because in the Genesis, you are really separating yourself, but you're still living in America and you're still part of everything, just like them. But you don't want a community. You want to take control of a whole state. This is mine. I want to run this. It's 50-some states. Damn, I want one of them. But here we are in a position. We don't run our communities. We don't run too much of nothing. We make no laws. Nobody don't give a damn about us. We are in a bad position here. That's why the Mississippi campaign is important, so that you can gain power and influence. And then you take certain steps to prepare and prep your people so they can exodus should that it ever come down to that, with no doubt. And the people would be ready. Now, of course, some still want to tolerate and live with the racists. So be it. Let them do their thing. Who cares? But for the wise and those of us who have come up out of slavery, we know what needs to be done. And we understand. Why do you think that the slave wanted to run away from the plantation? Because it was a wonderful, beautiful place. The slave wanted to run from the plantation because he or she was being abused, being exploited, being hurt. That's why. If it was a wonderful, beautiful place, why would somebody want to run away from it? It wasn't. We have these delusional melting pot fantasies and fallacies, imaginary. America is this melting pot. It is. It is a melting pot. Different people here. But it's separate. The carrots are over here. The beans over there. The beef is over there. There is no equality like in a real soup. Everything all mixed up. And when you eat that soup, you want a little bit of the carrots. You want a little bit of the onions. You want a little bit of this and that. Because that's what makes a soup. You want the melting pot. You want the mixed soup. But in this case, when you cook the soup, it don't come together. It's all separate. The oil sitting on the top, the beef over here, the chicken over there, the peas, carrots, onions, potatoes, they all fall away from each other. And when you see soup like that, when you see soup or stew like that, I would not advise you eat that because it's spoiled. Chances are it's spoiled. And what we have here, this melting pot, is spoiled. It's not real. You eat it and you become sick. And the majority of the American people in this country, sick. That's why they turn to drugs and alcohol and pornography and all these different things, because they're sick. And the coronavirus really got you messed up. You willing to take a vaccine in your arm and you trust people who have a history that you should not trust them. But you do it because you're part of this sick melting pot. And sometimes we get so sick, we're willing to try anything. And that's what you see. The Mississippi campaign is designed to heal us. from sickness, to have to be a hospital where you can recover from your injuries and be rehabilitated. Turn us from a Negro to a human being, to the God that you keep talking about in your scriptures, and more, maybe. Who knows? We don't know what the final, we don't really know what the full potential of this life form called human being, because our minds is on race. Or the black man is better than the white man. Oh no, the white man is better than the black man. Oh no, the Chinese is better than all of them. We fill our mind with all this nonsense. Who is better than who? Who's richer than who? Who's more educated than who? You have adult people raping children. You have our women. The only thing they are in this society is a toy, a servant, something to play with. We treat our animals that we depend on cruel. It's all messed up. So the Mississippi campaign, we must be different. We must change. We cannot do, if the only thing we're going to be is what society is, we might as well just stay where we are. We must change. We must be different. We must click our heels and bring forth, like the scriptures teach you, the kingdom of heaven is in you. The only thing you got to do is build it. All you have to do is put yourself in the right state of mind. Use your hands, use your intellect, and build the heaven. Instead of waiting for a savior. That fictional story, I'm going to say this in my conclusion. That fictional story, The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy went looking for the wizard because she wanted to go home. Come to find out, the wizard was fake. Now, those of us on this platform, we already know that wizard or God is fake. We already know that. Most of these refuse to believe that. And so Dorothy, after they found out that the wizard was fake, Dorothy found out she always had the power to go back home. The only thing she had to do was click her heels. But she spent all that time fighting flying monkeys and witches and spent all that time wasting. And she could have went home a long time ago. But she didn't know she had the power. And you don't know that you have the power. But now you know. That's why the Mississippi campaign exists. Because now we know. Only thing we have to do is click our heels. And we are on our way home. And you can't imagine how it feels to finally go back home. You don't know how it feels to be in a position where you don't have to be scared no more. You don't have to worry about somebody hurting you and discrimination, calling you out of your name, racism, and all this kind of stuff. Go home. You deserve it. After all the hell we've caught going on 500 years, don't you think you deserve to go to heaven? If anybody's going to go to heaven and go to heaven first, should it not be soul brothers and sisters, the once called slave in America? If there's a heaven to go, the first one that need to go is us, innocent victims. The so-called, the once called Negro ain't did nothing to nobody, nothing but victims. And we should be the one to be at heaven's door to welcome others to that heaven. We are the saints. We are the angels. If only you could recognize and get yourself, and it's not no mystical, mythical, fairy tale thinking process. I'm talking about on a real scale. Mississippi Campaign is the catalyst to open the door to the heaven on earth that these talk about. You don't have to wait to die. The heaven on earth is right here in you. We just need to click our heels and understand who we are and get out of the mindset of the trash that surrounds us. Because if you want to be trash, we might as well just stay and just be who we just. Why do you want freedom, justice, and equality just to continue to live in the toilet, in the cesspool? You want to be different. You want to clean yourself up. And one of the prime examples that we had in modern times before they blew it was the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam was a prime example of what we can do when we clean ourselves up. I remember as a young Muslim, I didn't have to wear a bow tie or a suit. People just looked at me. You look different. Righteous people have a glow. Righteous people have a different look. And others recognize that. You don't look like us. I didn't have to dress in a costume, a bow tie, and a white shirt. I was just myself. And people could just look at me. Hey, you're not like the rest of us. But the Nation of Islam blew it. Also, you don't have to be a Muslim to be righteous. You don't have to bow down to no damn God to be righteous. That's a fallacy. They blew it because they fell victim of the trash that they was living in. So we know not to make that mistake. And we know that we are the God that we seek to keep us on the right path. Nobody else is going to do it. In Islam, we pray, oh Allah, keep us on the right path. We have to keep ourselves on the right path. The Nation of Islam failed. They was unable to do that because they became victims of the trash dump. And they got off the path and have not gotten back on the path since. Not to say they don't do good things, but they don't know how to click their heels and put us in heaven. The Mississippi Campaign, should we want to, it can put us in heaven almost overnight. It'll blow your mind. I know it. Not believe. I know it. Our people was on their way to doing that anyway. But since they couldn't, then we can do that and go beyond. So we don't have to talk about ancient Egypt and Timbuktu and what the Moors did. We don't have to talk about history. We making history. And we would be the greatest, actually, we would be the greatest human beings on the planet. We will. The greatest human beings on the planet. How could people come from where we come from? And then we are able to accomplish what I know we can accomplish. How is that possible? How is it possible? If God is on your side like you claim, why can't we get this done? Maybe because God is not on your side because you don't have the right mind. And maybe that's the reason why God have not shown you how to click your heels together so that you can go home. You can build this heaven that you talk about. So on that note, I thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And as long as I can talk, I would do that. As long as you're willing to listen. I don't care if it's 3, 2, 1, I'm going to talk. I enjoy my 10 subscribers. I enjoy my 10 views. They don't want you to go to heaven. They want you to be, misery loves company. They want you to be here in this melting septic tank. That's what it is. Not a melting pot. Melting septic tank. Misery loves company. There are those who want you to do bad. That's not what we're about here. You deserve better, and you can get better. On that note, let me get out of here. I thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody in the chat room. I really appreciate you keeping me company. Those who are listening and those who will be listening to this video broadcast later on, I really appreciate it. I want to remind you, or thank you also for your donations to my medical fundraiser. I want to remind you of Soul Liberation Day, 2021, December the 28th, 2020, on a Monday at 4:30 p.m. right here, same back time, same real time, same real channel right here. I have a nice lineup of panelists. I think that you will like what they have to say. As a matter of fact, I don't know what they're going to say. So whatever they bring to the platform. Hey, what's up there? Hey, how you doing? You're welcome. Whatever they have to bring to the platform, I hope that we all can digest and enjoy. I'm not going to worry about trolls on that day, because since the trolls know that this is a scheduled event, I'm very sure a lot of trolls might show up. But I want to ask all my moderators or whatever, don't you worry about trying to moderate nothing. I want you to enjoy the gathering. I want you to enjoy the get together, and don't waste your time. Let the trolls do whatever they feel they need to do. I'm not even going to look at the chat room when I talk, so they're not going to bother me at all. We just want to have a good time together. Soul Liberation Day 2021. I also want to thank you for supporting our sister. Those of you who have bought her book called God is on Trial. It's available on Amazon for $3.99. God is on Trial by our sister Alberta Parrish, also known as Sister Noble. We thank you for that. And I enjoyed myself these almost hour and a half. I really have enjoyed myself. And a lot of times I use notes. I put notes down so I can keep track of the things that I want to say. But this afternoon, I just flow free. I just want to talk, and I'm proud of myself. I just want to talk and get this off, knock the dirt off my shoulder. So I appreciate you. I'm glad that you appreciate me. And I do have another talk tomorrow. I forgot when I scheduled. I think I scheduled it for 3:35, like I did. We want to talk about parents forcing religion on their children. That's the topic. I think I've scheduled it for 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. So if you have the time, stop by and we can do this again. And then I might not speak, I might not talk, until Soul Liberation Day. I also had an interview with our sister Omega Courtney. Some of you may have already seen that interview. If you have not, it will be on this channel Monday. But if you can't wait till Monday, you can go to her channel, Omega. Let me spell that out for you. Put it in the chat room. Put that in the chat room real quick. You can go to her channel, Omega Courtney. Very easy to look up. And we had a nice talk yesterday morning. You might enjoy our conversation. Very beautiful sister, very intelligent, and she's definitely right here on the Soul Train with us. Omega Courtney. Also, I put the video on Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. It's there right now. It's on her channel, and it's also on Operation Exodus Mississippi, the interview. So if you like to have the time to check that out, that interview out, you can do so. I think that you will like it. Very positive. Everything about the interview, the whole thing was just beautiful. We enjoyed ourselves, and she will be speaking at Soul Liberation Day 2021. Our soul sister, Omega Courtney. With that said, I thank you so much for your time. And it's just, you know, like I told you, I really enjoy our time together, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm so glad to know I'm not alone. So on that note, like our soul brother Don Cornelius used to always tell us as in parting, until next time, well, actually till tomorrow, if things go right, if things go right, until tomorrow, I wish us love, peace, and soul. We are the 5,000.